Hey, my name is Conrad LeDrew and I'm a sophomore here at Grand Canyon University, and I'm super excited. I'm fired up to be able to film this Life Leader application. And before we get started, I felt in my heart I wanted to honor a couple people, including Pastor Tim Griffin, Chris Jennings, as well as Cameron Marasco, and my life leader Dylan Laba. I wanted to just thank them because you guys have had an amazing impact on my semester, fall semester at GCU, as this has been my first year. And before that, just to kind of give a little bit of a backdrop, I went to Boise State University, and for me, I'm very business-minded. I'm focused. I like to have vision for what my year is going to look like. And so for me, Boise State was a step in the right direction, but I felt that in my walk with God, I felt that it wasn't the right place with the right community. And I believe that going into question number one, I believe community is essential, so important in the light of the gospel. So let's get right into it. So for me, I believe that community is essential when it comes to the light of the gospel. I believe that when you're in a community, you're able to edify one another. You're able to get around people that are like-minded and motivated. I've seen that in my life when I get around people that are business-minded, people that want to apply themselves in ministry, when they're volunteering maybe for a homeless shelter or anything like that. And so what I find is that on the opposite side, right, isolation, when you're alone, it can lead to condemning thoughts, whether you're not getting involved in different activities, whether you have a passion that you want to express to the world, and you don't have that catalyst or that environment where people are able to edify you and to bring you into where God's called you to be and pull you forward. And so what I think is so important is that when you are in a community of believers and you're around people that are like-minded, you're able to rub off on one another. It's actually a Hebrew word. It's a mashak. It's the rubbing off of. It's been used in the book of Proverbs where it says that when you get around wise people, you stack up wisdom. And so for me in my life, I've seen, great breakthrough, great experiences, whether it was a ministry application or outside of ministry application. And it was only through community that I would be able to be where I'm at today, to have the wisdom and the relationships that I've been able to develop over the years. So I believe that, community is a great place to get started when it comes to joining a school or even at GCU. I mean, life leaders and groups and RAs create this environment of great community. So it's been a privilege to be able to be a part of GCU's community and to develop relationships. So that's my answer, number one. Let's get into number two. All right, number two. I'm super excited to share why I'd love to be a life leader on campus at GCU. And to be honest, it actually started before I became a student here. And it was when I was looking at this school, when I was at Boise State, and I had these Zoom meetings with my counselor, Jenna Lee Johnson. And for me, I was drawn to GCU because there was those activities, those programs, those spiritual life groups. And so for me, I was like, man, I would love to be a life leader one day. And so what I did was I wanted to get around people that were life leaders. And so I was able to be a part of my friend Dylan's group and various other men's prayer meetings and Bible studies. And so when I was talking to her, I was just sharing, man, I'd love to do this. And the reason why is because the life leader groups, as well as many of the different other groups that I've been a part of, have had a huge impact on my life. And so one of the ones I want to just talk about briefly was a men's prayer meeting that I would go to consistently on Tuesdays at 4:30 in the morning. Because I lived in Orange County, California, and my church was down in San Diego, and it was called the Kingdom Life Emerge Men's Prayer Meeting. And so why do I bring this up is because there was 300 people that would show up at each campus of the Awakened Church that I went to, and we would see, God just move in such powerful ways in different people's lives through healing relationships, physical healings, different signs and wonders. And it really just lit up my eyes to really see how relational God was, how he wanted to be intimately in fellowship with every single believer. And so for me, it wasn't just a prayer meeting. It was a place where I was able to see that there's more to my relationship with God and that Jesus really modeled the kingdom lifestyle. And the reason why I want to become a life leader is I want to be able to show people how do you live in that kingdom lifestyle and that kingdom purpose. And so for me and my group, I would want to not only just go through the book that I just showed you guys, but I want to really exemplify how do you live out your kingdom purpose, your calling? How do you pray? How do you fellowship with one another? How do you edify one another? And so through a prayer meeting as well as different discussions and worship, all these different things, not just on just in a group setting where we're in a prayer meeting, but also in the community of GCU, I believe that it will be super impactful to be able to become a life leader and to share that experience with one another believers. So super excited to have this opportunity, and it's been a privilege to be able to film these videos, and I'm sure there's been probably hundreds of bloopers that I've had, and so I'm just super excited to be able to finish this off and give thanks to you guys here at GCU. So looking forward to any next steps. Have a great one.